Hello and welcome back to Healthy Spouse, Healthy House. My name is Tony and my channel focuses on health, wellness, and relationships. I believe that there are 15 different areas of health that any one person can work on at any point in time in their lives. And this was a concept that was given to me by God over the course of several years. I had gone through postpartum depression and anxiety back in 2014, and I had to ask God. I was like, Lord, what is going on with me? Because I was just experiencing so many things. So I began to pray, and God revealed to me that I was unhealthy, simply put. And He would then take me on a journey where He revealed to me 15 different areas of health. And if you want to hear more about that, more about my testimony concerning that, you can watch my video titled Welcome to Healthy Spouse, Healthy House. Well, anyway, each week I introduce, define, and discuss an area of health. And then in the end, we make plans and then we make goals so that we can become healthier in that area. So this week's area of health is financial health. And financial health is an in-depth assessment of your finances. So guys, it includes your ability to support your basic needs and also your ability to save and build wealth. And when you are financially healthy, you have the freedom of having financial security and financial freedom of choice in the present and when you consider the future, y'all. So being in good financial health is a key part of being in good health overall. And that's because the stress alone that comes with being financially unhealthy could cause physical ailments and disease. Just the stress alone, the stress of not being able to pay bills or not being able to make ends meet, or trying to figure out what you're gonna feed your children or feed yourself or whatever. That month, I've been through that before, and it did not feel good at all. So just being in good financial health can easily help you in other areas. So being healthy in one area of health can positively affect another area, and being unhealthy in an area of health can negatively affect another area of health. So honestly, like financial things, dealing with money, certain things like that, that was not discussed in my household growing up. We did not discuss the amount of money my parents made, or we did not discuss budgeting, different things like that. And I had met my husband at 18, so we were kind of just starting out. And a lot of those things concerning budgeting, concerning money, we learned together. There were things that he knew, of course, there were things that I knew, but most of those things, the bulk of it, were things that we had learned together. And so after my research and experiences and my education and his education on the matter, I've come up with 5 components of financial health and what has helped us over the years and however. So I've divided it into 5 different components: financial health, and that is spend, save, borrow, give, and plan. So let's talk about spend, okay? Under spend, you want to know what you are bringing in each month. Know what your monthly income is. Know what you're bringing in to the household each month, okay? So know what you are bringing in each month. Write that down. Go ahead, write that down. Pause the video, write that down. Then you want to know what is going out each month, okay? And you want to write all of that down. Pause the video, write it down. That includes your rent or your mortgage, transportation expenses, right? Any kind of utility bills, activities, food, insurances, anything that you pay for, you want to write that down. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Either now or later, it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's under spend, right? Next, you want to think about saving. Okay, so we've talked about spend, and then the next component is save. So you want to save something each month. Simply put, most financial institutions want you to save about 10% of your monthly income each month. Okay, and if you cannot do that, maybe 5%, or just start somewhere. Start somewhere, save something. Think about this. Are you getting like extra time or extra hours at work, or some overtime? Maybe you might want to save that and put that away. And when you do that, you consider it an emergency fund. Consider it untouchable. Do not touch it at all. Let it sit there for what it is, for what it's for, an emergency. So next, so we talked about spend, we talked about save. Let's talk about borrow. So borrow, that includes your credit cards and your loans. So your credit cards, be careful of credit cards and the interest rates, and know what the rewards are. Read the fine print, okay? I remember growing up and I mean, like the adults would say, credit card bad, don't get any credit cards, don't do that, whatever. And I soon realized that it's because they, didn't really know how it worked. And so it's just like they pass that on to you. But if you know how credit cards and credit works, then you will get an understanding and understand that you need it. You need it. You just have to know how to use it, and also with the loans and different things concerning that, different things that you have to pay back. What you want to do is pay those things, your credit cards, your bills, your loans, all of those things on time, and then pay back your debt as quickly as you can. As long as there's no, there are certain bills that you have to pay a certain time. You can't overpay or whatever. It's, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes there is a penalty or whatever. Yeah. So anyway, so we talked about spending, we talked about saving, we've talked about borrowing. Now we're going to talk about giving. That's the fourth component. And giving, let me just say this, tithing is the biggest way that my husband and we give. Tithing is something, being a Christian, that is very important to us. We hold it very dear and near to our hearts. And this is a way that we give back to God, give back to our church, give back to our community. And that's 10% of our income. And so that's very important to us, tithing. And it's one of those things where you have to do it to see exactly what the blessings are that comes with that. I can tell you, like we haven't had to want for anything. We're constantly blessed. I can tell you so many things and so many rewards that comes with it, but it's something that you're going to have to do so that you can see it for yourself. There's a blessing in giving. And also giving includes what you give to charities and organizations and donations, and so that's something that you should be actively doing, and you should actively consider and have in your budget is giving. Lastly, you want to make a plan, and planning includes your budget. Now you want to ask yourself a few questions. You want to ask yourself, what are my financial goals? You want to ask yourself questions that you have to answer for the present, and questions that you will have to answer for the future. Where do I see myself in 5 years? What are your retirement plans? Do you have to pay college tuition? Do you want to own a home? Do you want to buy a home or an income property? Those are things that you have to consider, and you also have to consider investments. So you want to make a budget. We did ours, Excel spreadsheet. It's pretty easy. You can write it down and then you could put it on. Anything that you need to do, so that you can become financially healthy, you want to start with your budgeting, and you want to make a budget, and you want to commit to it and stick to it. So with all of that being said, analyze your financial health, right? Set a plan and actively work toward it. So I'm going to leave you with a few healthy habits to better your financial health. First thing, learn how to create a budget and stick to it. Learn how to commit to living within your means, possibly below your means. Learn the difference between needs and wants. Regularly track your spending. Start planning for the future now. Guys, I cannot stress enough to have your life insurance policies up to date. Do what you need to do so that you can make sure that your children are set. We want to build generational wealth. We don't want to just live comfortably now. We want to build generational wealth, and we want to also pour into others' lives. So I hope this information helped you in some kind of way. And if it did, like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe share. All right.